Hi everyone, it's Spencer here with Spencer's Stuff. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you being here. Today I'm going to be covering the Govee T2s. You might ask yourself, have you not already reviewed these? Well, I have, but I need to do a re-review in 2024 because they have changed in the span of the year. And as well as that, my setup has changed since last time. So I want to cover the color accuracy, if the year of updates have proven that this product is as good as it is, or if it's changed too much to where it's not worth it. I also want to talk about the quality of Dreamview when using this product and how it can enhance your home theater and viewing experience altogether. But before we jump into that, I ask that you please hit that like button, subscribe, and of course, ring that bell notification icon so that you're informed of all the videos I upload in the future. Thank you so much. So just a quick disclaimer before I get going. Before in my previous review, I was in the corner of a room, and now obviously the TV behind me, which was actually used in that review, is now flush against the wall. So you should be able to pick up a little bit more of the effects of the T2 and the backlighting system. Included with that, you might see that there are lights all around this room here, and I really haven't shown it before, but there are M1s from Govee surrounding this room that I use in Dreamview as well. While these are not going to be reviewed in this video, I'll show a little bit of what they can do later on, and it can also provide you a little bit of an experience to understand why I'm so high on Govee. So jumping into this, I'm going to be using the HDR Super Channel. I want to thank Jennifer Gala for providing this content. You're going to notice that there's going to be a lot more nuance to the lighting. I have it currently in the movie mode, so you're going to see that the yellows are going to be picked up a little bit on the left side of the screen. One thing Govee drastically improved on from the prior updates is the nuance to the lighting. It's not drastic. You don't have, if it's a small light, it's not going to illuminate as much. But in this case, you see the light has drastically improved and it's become much brighter. So now you'll see that the backlighting system is taking that into account. And you can see how segmented it is. It really does a great job now at picking up the brighter details around the screen. In this case, there's a bright yellow. This is picking it up very well. You might be kind of hard to see on the camera. It might show a little bit more orange, but this yellow is matching to the backlighting system. Some natural limitations of this system, though, obviously are the LEDs on the back. The T2s do not feature a white LED, so you're not going to be able to get a pure white out of this. And you're going to have to sit in and do a color calibration to try and get it as close as possible. This scene is really awesome because as the planet grows closer, you can see that the top and bottom of the screen are becoming brighter as the object approaches the screen. Very well done and nuanced, and this is one of the best updates that Govee has done over the past year. Included with this, the color accuracy is much better than it used to be. Your oranges are now orange. In previous iterations or previous versions of this product, the oranges showed more as a red color, and that has been solved. As this fades to red, you'll notice that obviously the backlighting is accounting, and this is a great video to show how they dynamically change on the fly. So in my first review of this product, I noted that fall colors made it a little bit difficult on this system. It was unable to pick up oranges quite as well as I had hoped. It has been improved drastically since the first iteration or the first time I used this product. It is to be noted that this is the exact same camera system that I reviewed in the first video, so this is after the full year plus of updates. Immediately you'll notice that it's kind of picking more of a red out of the leaves as opposed to the orange, although it is still more detailed. And in this situation, you'll notice that the water is hewing off a little bit of a greenish blue, which is also being represented in the backlights. The upper right corner is orange and the upper left corner is orange because there is a little bit of sun and leaves. One thing about having this on a flat wall immediately is that you notice the nuances in the detail of the color. In the bottom left corner, you'll see that the whites are poking through and it is being represented by the backlighting system. Greens are something that go really well on the system, as well as that pure reds. They show very easily. Yellows are also pretty decent as well. And once again, in this case, there are yellows in there, but you can see the hints of orange, so it has decided to pick up on the oranges in the upper right corner and in the lower left corner. The water is being shown very well in the bottom, showing actually very accurately to what my eye sees, and the fall colors at the top look great as well. They look almost as good as the full scene. And in this situation, you obviously can see there are a lot of yellows. Obviously the system is picking out more oranges than what I am seeing, so it's still not perfect. Fall colors are still a problem for the system to an extent. Granted, it's not taking away from the watching experience. And overall, I would say that it is drastically improved from the first review that I did on this product. I find that the backlighting system is not as distracting as what it used to be, and that it actually enhances what you see on screen a lot more. Now I'm going to switch over to a faster paced scene. Looking at Gran Turismo 7 gameplay right here to show you the backlighting system, I have this currently on movie mode, not game mode, and it is also set on the smooth mode. It is to be noted that if you are not using Dreamview, you have the option for smooth, vivid, or whole. The smooth mode will have a much smoother movement of the lighting between each of the strands. The vivid mode will give you a little bit more motion detail, and then the whole option in the app will obviously make the whole screen show one color and change dynamically with what's going on screen. It is to be noted that even in movie mode, the backlighting system still does a great job. Now I'm going to switch it to vivid mode while in the movie option. And you'll notice immediately that the lighting is a little bit more detailed. It picks up different regions of the screen much better. And this is still in movie mode. One of the things you're going to notice when I switch over to game mode versus a movie is that the game mode obviously reacts much quicker. So switching to the whole option, you'll see here that the screen just stays one color all the way around, and it just changes based on the detail of the lighting. So if it is a much brighter scene, the lighting will change to be brighter. If it's not, it'll dim, and it'll just try and take the most color on screen and find it, and then make it that color on the backlighting system. Now switching over to game mode and on smooth, you'll notice immediately that the game mode is going to be much more nuanced than the movie mode, and is a lot more aggressive. You're going to see a lot more dynamics, but it can also be a bit more distracting if you're not playing a game. In a situation where you're playing a game, this enhances your vision in a lot of ways because it doesn't become distracting, it just takes on what's going on screen. And when moving into the vivid option in just a minute when it leaves this tunnel, that's a great scene to show you the dynamics. Now it's going to go dark. Yep. Now switching into the vivid option, you're going to notice immediately if you're looking at the left side how much more detailed we are getting when it comes to going by the trees. And when you're playing games, this greatly enhances immersion, and that is the key factor when it comes to a backlighting system. The other key is making sure that the scene is not too bright. So in my case, I've got my backlighting system at about 50% brightness, and this complements my OLED greatly. But if I bump this up now to 100%, you'll notice immediately that it almost overexposes the image. And you can tell that the backlighting system takes precedent over the TV. This is obviously something you do not want. Moving back down, I'm going to go into about 10% brightness, and immediately you'll notice that the TV is now way overtaking the backlighting, and you lose color volume with the backlighting system. For someone in a dark room, you might prefer this. You might prefer a little bit less of the backlighting, but for me personally, I leave mine at about 40 to 50% brightness, depending on what I'm watching. And now I'm going to stay on the game mode and switch to the whole setting. And And I find in game mode that the whole setting is actually a bit more distracting because it's trying to pick a color out of the whole scene, and it can almost create a flickering effect that is very distracting when you're gaming. So when it comes to this, I stay between smooth and vivid mode. When it comes to gaming, a lot of people are playing first-person shooters. In this situation, we're looking at Battlefield 5. One of the major limitations that people can come across on a backlighting system is the inability for the system to actually keep up with what's going on screen. First-person shooters have a ton of movement on the camera, so sometimes it can make it difficult for the lights to keep up. In this situation, I'm looking at the smooth setting on game mode, and you can see it's keeping up very well. Every time he runs by something, there is nuance to the lighting. And I've always been thoroughly impressed with the lighting system being able to keep up so well in games. Switching over to the vivid option on game mode, we should start seeing a little bit more nuance versus the smooth option. You'll immediately notice how great this system keeps up with what is going on, and the color accuracy is actually very good. I don't feel like I'm watching this and saying that color is incorrect, that color is incorrect. I'm watching it and it is extremely nuanced. So if you're buying this system for backlighting purposes and for playing games, you will not be disappointed. Now, for people who find this distracting and want to switch this over to movie mode for something a little bit lighter and less reactive, I'm going to do that. And I'm currently on the movie mode in Vivid. You'll notice immediately that there's less nuance and detail in the backlighting, but it is still very good and it still picks up the lighting well. Don't have any issues with it, it's not distracting. I would say the movie mode basically, it enhances the picture, but it's not so much trying to recreate the picture, it is just trying to make it seem a little bit, it exaggerates the picture, I guess. That's the best way I can put it. It's not trying to duplicate it. Switching over into smooth, now we immediately see that it is extremely less reactive compared to what we had before with the vivid option in movie mode. And really the whole point of this backlighting system when it comes to the movie option is just to emphasize what is going on screen. It is not supposed to replace it. Govee is one system that I think just does a great job of that. The last thing I'm going to do now is show you the Govee M1s around my room and showing you how they react on screen. Looking back at Gran Turismo 7, we're going to be looking at the game mode specifically. This is in Dreamview. One of the things I love about Govee products is that they do show plenty of potential when it comes to gaming and creating that 4D experience with lighting. You may ask yourself what I mean by 4D. I kind of say that the Dreamview is almost like a Dolby Atmos for lighting. It creates an immersive video experience as well as an enhancement with all the lights going on around the room. And while you could say that it might be a little bit distracting, I have not heard anyone say that it is when I've had them over. The key is setting up the lights so that they do not overpower the TV. One of the major downsides, however, is that you do not get the smooth mode and you do not get the whole mode or the other modes that are available. All you have when it comes to the movie watching Dreamview mode is game and movie. Now I'm going to turn the camera here to kind of show you what I mean. As you can tell with what's going on screen, even though it's not super bright right now as he sits in the car, the lights are dynamically working with what the backlighting system is telling them. And I believe you can have up to 7 things connected at once in Dreamview. Currently I have 4. As he exits this tunnel, you're going to see that the lights are going to light up a bit more. And one of the things that I did in my setup, and it's not showing because obviously the M1s are only set up a certain way and calibrated a certain way, is I made sure that my M1s did not show a full section of the screen. So for my left side of the screen, because I have a smaller TV, I only wanted them to show one color as opposed to showing nuances in color. So if the left side of the screen is green, blue, and red, it's going to pick whatever is in the middle of that screen as the color on my Dreamview. I set this up because I found that at times the M1s could end up being a little bit distracting if you had multiple sets of colors. And I wanted it to emphasize what was going on screen as opposed to being a distraction. Now switching into just movie mode, you're going to pick up immediately that the detail and resolution in the backlighting system is decreased, although still very good. It still emphasizes what is going on screen, and it does so very dynamically. Coming back to Battlefield 5, I'm going to show you how Dreamview is still performing extremely well. We're currently in the movie mode, so you're going to see a little bit less motion resolution when it comes to using this right now. I'm going to move to the right side of my screen now to kind of show you what the LEDs are doing. And also on the right side, I wanted to point out that I am also doing what I did on the left, where I don't want multiple colors showing at once, but one emphasized on the right side of the screen. I do have the Govee curtain lights on the right side as well, and those light up according to what section I set them to in the calibration. And now I'm going to switch over to game mode to show you how it changes. So now we're in game mode, and you can notice immediately that the side lighting on the Dreamview option is going to change a lot quicker. When gaming, this becomes a very fun experience. You'll end up in a situation where it becomes a lot more immersive because the lights are exaggerating and showing what is on screen to a very high resolution detail. The motion resolution is specifically what I'm talking about. I find that the motion resolution with the Dreamview is just as good with the backlighting system, although there is no other settings besides game and movie mode. One of the great things about the M1s specifically, I'll note that they have a white pixel on them, or a white LED specifically. That white LED is capable of producing pure white versus the backlighting system, which is not, so that is a good thing. And all in all, for the backlighting system, Dreamview is something that I really do recommend you look at if you're really into gaming, as well as movies. It greatly enhances what you're watching. And like I said before, it creates almost like a 4D Dolby Atmos effect for lighting that I think is super immersive. If you calibrate it correctly, it's going to show what's on screen and really exaggerate it, make it more detailed and more fun to watch. So one of the ways that I think people can really mess this up, and it's just a quick point, is setting the brightness too high. In the app currently, I have the brightness on the backlight only set at 30%. My left M1 is only set at 7%. I have the light above me set at 11% and the right light at 7%. I'm going to show you what happens if I crank these all the way up, and you're going to notice immediately how overpowering the lights are compared to the TV. And while the camera might not pick up on it, they're doing a lot, and they're really over-exaggerating. Some people actually might really like this. I personally do not. I prefer seeing what's on screen versus what the lights are showing. But if you want your room to become extremely immersive and full of vivid detail, these M1s are something that I really do recommend because they get really bright and can be a lot of fun to use. And this is obviously going full stop. Switching into movie mode now to make it a little bit less chaotic. You're going to notice that the room is going to stay completely illuminated. And like I said, in the video, you might not be able to pick this up, how dynamic it is, but with the naked eye, this is way over exaggerated. So the key for me is to make sure that your brightness is probably just showing what's on screen at a very detailed level. You don't want it to be too bright. I hope this video has shown you the improvements that Govee has made on the T2s since the last time I reviewed them. You might notice the color accuracy has very much improved. And while this product does not have a white LED, I imagine that the T3s will, and I believe the T3 lights do as well. Govee is coming a long way, and I think that their products are very much worth looking at. If you're someone who has a smaller 55 to 65 inch TV, these backlights make your TV feel so much larger, and that's why I love them so much. And with the inclusion of Dreamview around the room and using these Govee M1s, it creates almost like a Dolby Atmos effect for lighting. That's how I describe it. And everyone that I've had over has said that it's not distracting. The key to it is really just calibrating and making sure that the lights don't overpower what you see on the TV screen. They should basically just enhance the picture. They shouldn't overtake it. So taking those down and bringing them to a lower brightness will drastically improve the picture quality on your TV. Are they going to be for everyone? Not necessarily, but I can easily say that I love my backlighting system and I wouldn't trade them for the world. I hope this review helped you out, and I hope that you all enjoyed everything that you've seen today. I hope you have a good day, great evening, and please make sure you leave a comment down below. I would love to talk with you all. Thank you all for watching.